Greetings, everybody. How you doing? I'm gonna come to you with a serious point today. This video gonna be entitled "Black Men, We Need to Get It Together." Now, I'm not doing this for a favor of women, or so women can comment like, "Yeah, that's right. I've been saying that all the time." No, I'm doing this out of love, and I'm doing this to let you in on myself, the mistakes I made, the corrections I'm taking, and you too can take these, three simple steps to improving your life. Now, I always got to start with myself because I don't want to just ramble about what's going on in the community at large without starting with myself. When I came out of Temple University, and I'm not going to name the jobs that I had, but when I came out of Temple University, my first job was for $26,000. I took it because I'm thinking, wow, I got to grab what I could get, grab experience, whatnot, when I really should have been researching. Okay, don't grab the first offer. I should have been negotiating with how much money I should have been making. So I made a little bit amount of money. I think at that job I got up to 28,000. Moved on to the next job, which was kind of worse. I was working at a rental car company. Made less money there. I Since I graduated from Temple 2005, I had several different jobs. And you know what? I didn't plan. I didn't research my industry, and I didn't effectively, you know, get things going in my court because of my inexperience. And it wasn't an older gentleman to tell me. I had mentors, and they all said the same thing: "Go, just get into a job and, just make the most of it." Let me tell you what I experienced at these jobs. Experienced a lot of racism, you know. And I'm not trying to, pull a black card or nothing like that. And some was indirect, some was direct. The indirect is when your stats, your sales, everything you're doing is better than, I'm not even gonna say my white predecessor, but better than my white coworker, but yet he still get the management position off the merit because he's white. That's a blow to my stomach. A lot of times I don't want to stay with the company because wow, I did X, Y, Z. I overextend myself for this company and I still fell short. But you know who's to blame? Not my managers, not the company. I'm to blame. Yeah, and the reason I say I'm to blame because I should have known better and I should have researched and got better. Well, the reason I'm making this video is because I was in a point in my life where I was working at that rental car company. I started going to school. I started working on myself. Um, During the time when I was in college, I was 180 pounds. I was real thin. Me and my friend, we used to run 4 miles a day. Um, the reason I'm making these insanity workout videos, and I have been losing, but I still need to tune my diet a little. I stopped eating a lot of stuff, but I'm still critiquing myself. I am still challenging myself. I am still making myself better, to be better than that man I was in college. But I let myself go. In college, I was pretty popular. That was before I became Greek. But when I was obese, when I became Greek, did a grad chapter, whatever. But I ain't gonna talk to that in an extent. But I noticed a change in how the women treated me from when I was in college to now. And another point of this video is that you can't care about what women think at this point. You got to work on yourself. Now, I was at a point a year or two ago, I wanted to get married. I'm in a dead end job. I was in grad school working on my MBA in finance, and I feel like, oh, wow, these women is not really feeling me, and I can't get it together. The system trying to keep me down. I'm a black man. Went through that whole spill. We all go through that. I had to start praying. I had to ask God, like, if it's your will, for me to be poor, if it's your will, just let it be your will. But, God was saying something to me in the inside, like, you can't give up, Tim. Whatever you do, you can't give up. And basically, and I'm almost done with my introduction, then I'm gonna get into the attributes in the body of this video. So basically, I got it together. First thing I did was I put the wife hunt on hold. I was like, you know what? I can't have no wife if I'm not taking care of myself. I can't have no wife if I'm, struggling, messed up. So let me focus on me. So at the same time, I obtained my MBA. I obtained my MBA in finance from Strayer. So I'm prospecting for new jobs, and that's when I started insanity. Lo and behold, in January, that's when I started, in a relationship now. My girlfriend is very petite. She's very pretty. She stands by my side, and she's my number one supporter. And the point I'm trying to make is if I wasn't working on myself, I don't think I would have met her. So let me get into the video. Well, that's not the end of my story. I'm still working on myself. I lost 20 pounds recently. I changed my workout. I changed my diet. That's all the help of my support system. Is my lady. I don't want to call her a girl because that's not what she is. This is my lady. She's one of my biggest support systems, and I love her for that. So, and I don't think I would have met her if I wasn't on my grind. So let me get into the real video, black men, on why I'm saying this because I have some friends, I have some cousins. Everybody want the bad girl. Everybody want the Beyonce. Everybody want the Nicki Minaj. Everybody want that girl, that trophy wife. The reason I'm making this video is, black men, we need to get it together. Is that we can't focus on that. You want to get the woman of your dreams if you accomplish your goals. Now, I'm gonna use a couple of references. I listen to a lot of Maybach music. That's what I like. I love hip hop. I love, funny hip hop. I love street hip hop. I love, lyrical such as Wu-Tang Clan. I can listen to MMG. I can listen to State Property. I can listen to Rock Nation, and I listen to all these guys. But one thing they all have in common, they didn't come success overnight. They all had to grind. When Nelly did his album, he didn't shower in 2 weeks. He had to grind. He had to really grind. And the reason I'm saying this is like you see these guys on the red carpets, they have the models, they have the singing girlfriends, they have the big houses, they have the yachts, they have the Maybachs, whatever you want. That didn't come overnight. None of that stuff came overnight. They all had to grind for it. And that's why we got to get it together, black men. You got to grind for it. We in the clubs, we popping bottles broke. We want to flaunt like we got it. We might have the Maybach rimmed up, but we living in our mom house. You know, it's not good economics. It's not good for you. My thing is grind. This is your time to grind. Whether you 25, 18, or 30, I'm just saying if you have a good woman that's gonna stand by your side, stand by her. If not, do not focus on a woman right now. Now it's the time to grind. And fellas, I promise you, when you grind and you on your grind, you want to get the lady that you want, no matter what size you are, no matter how you look. I went through the challenges. Chicks was talking about how big I was, and the woman I really wanted to marry, she don't look nothing like my girl now, and it's because I was on my grind. And I'm glad I was with that chick. She looked like a scuzz bucket compared to the lady I am with now. No offense if she see this, but it is what it is. But I couldn't have met my lady unless I was on my grind. And I don't want to say this is get on your grind so you can meet a woman, but I was just using that example. That's something I wanted, and I obtained that while I was on my grind. But it might not be a woman. You might want to buy that Mustang. You might want to buy that Camaro. You might want to buy your mother a new home. Hopefully, every black man should want to buy their mother a new home or get them out of conditions if they're in urban environments. Get them out of the conditions that they're in. You might want to, pay for your sister's college tuition. You might want to pay for your cousins. You might want to help your family out. We can't be on the corner saying we're hurting and we're not working towards our goals. So let me get three main points and I'll be out your way. The first thing is knowing what you want. Basically, you got to know what you want in life. Nothing wrong with wanting to be a rapper. Know what you want, know how to get it. If you're not that good, practice in your craft. Keep on practicing. Keep on practicing. Even help people help write for you. Keep on practicing. Get a good support team because that's what you need. Everybody needs a support team. I needed one. A lot of things I couldn't accomplish on my own. I have a small support team, but not alone the support team. So know what you want and have that support around you. Got to. That is very critical. The second thing is you got to do your research. Um, I'm going to school to be a doctor in business administration. My concentration is social impact management. I didn't know what I wanted to study, but after reading social impact management and how they help destitute neighborhoods around the world, I want to take that same education, bring it back to the city of Philadelphia, seeing how I can make a difference. Not only that I'm getting paid, but how I can make a difference in the lives of younger and older black men. Because it takes for our nation to be good, or our, let's say, culture, or our economy, or basically our social status, or our race to survive. It's going to start with black men, real black men. That's word up. And that's no disrespect to the women out there, but it's going to start with black men stepping up. So I had to research what I wanted to do. So I researched it, and I figured, now I know I want to be a doctor, but this is how I'm gonna be a doctor. Finally, walking the path. I'm in school right now, becoming a doctor. Everybody's not fit for school. Walk the path. If you want to be an entrepreneur, go to the free library. I'm going to talk to Philadelphians. Go to the free library of Philadelphia. They have a grant book. Anything you want to do is a grant for it. You just got to apply for it. You may not get it. You may so get it. But walk the path. Walk towards it. Plus, when you walk in the path, God's going to put people in your path to help you. You might say, oh man, this is what I've got going on. I have a good idea for a nonprofit for adult men. And it could be some rich white lady you could be talking in Walmart. She was like, well, listen, I'm looking to invest in a project. Here's 20,000. Here's 30,000. I'm not saying it's always going to happen that way, but walk your path, and people will help you. People like to help people who's doing something. I mean, you can't just be, you got to be a dream chaser, not just a dreamer. And I like that, when Meek said, we dream chasing, he was talking about the broke nigga is the joke nigga. Excuse my language. But I'm just, paraphrasing what he said. And that's right. If you want something, you don't want to be considered a joke. You know what I mean? If they see you walking your path, people will help. Trust me, I'm a product of that. People's been helping me coming out the woodworks, and I haven't been asking for help. All I've been doing is walking my path, making myself better. I got the woman of my dreams by doing that. And it's not always being about a woman, but I'm just saying that's what I wanted. I was like, man, I want a wife. I was putting myself down. I'm a big dude. Instead of just walking my path, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't care who's not feeling me. Let me do this insanity thing. Let me study for my doctorate. Let me make myself better every year. And I can see the difference. I can even see the difference in my face making this video. What choices I made and what the healthier choices I made. Cutting some friends off. Sometimes walking that path, everybody can't come with you in that path. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but everybody can't come with you in that path. Some people are going to have to fall by the wayside. So that's up to your discretion. You're going to have to know who's going to fall by the wayside and who's not. Because if they're not walking that path with you, they're a liability. So, black men, we get it together. Let me go over the 3 points I'm trying to make for you guys. Knowing what you want out of life, that's important. You might want to write these down. Knowing what you want out of life. Researching on how to get the life that you want, and walking the path. It's that simple. You're going to hit some bumps on the road. You're going to have some people hate on you. It's going to be some people that don't want you to walk your path. They want you to stay that crab in the barrel. They just want to pull you down. But let me tell you, if you do these 3 things, and I'm going to repeat them one more time. If you know what you want out of life, I don't care if you want to be a chef. Wow, I want to be a chef. Okay, now that's the first thing, acknowledgement of what you want. Research. Okay, how am I get in school? How am I get grants to be a chef? Who should I study under? What school should I go to? And when you research it, you're going to find not the best that reviews tell you, but you're going to find the best for you. And also, last but not least, walk the path. Start walking it. You can say what you want to do, but unless you execute it, can't do it. All right, man, I'll let this video go on. Hope this is helpful for y'all. Till next time, deuces.